Hey folks, and welcome to another exhilarating battle of Bromance WarGaming. This here we have is on our Border Princes campaign, turn 6. It is Jody and his High Elves versus the random army of Orcs and Goblins. Matt today is playing the Orcs and Goblins, so he'll tell us a little bit about that. And the scenario is a dawn attack, and we are picking up after they've all deployed, which the Orcs went first, and we've also done the Vanguard. Matt, go ahead and pick it up, and go ahead and tell us about the terrain and then about your deployment.
Alright, for terrain we have a regular hill, a mysterious river, a regular building. This is a blazing bulwark, which if you charge into it, it gives soft cover, and if you charge and in touching it, every model touching takes a strength 4 flaming hit.
Alright.
This is a Earthblood Mirror, regular marsh, and which is dangerous terrain and extra dangerous to cavalry, and it is every model with the majority of it, a unit with the majority of its models in there has regeneration 6 up. Another mysterious river, another regular building, and this is an Elven Waystone. Wizards within 6 inches get a +1 to channel.
Okay.
Oh, and this is a wall, which is just hard cover and -1 to hit if you charge.
Gotcha, gotcha. And you are packed in pretty tightly behind there. Go ahead and
Yep.
talk about your deployment.
Well, I've been talking a lot on Warseer about the refused center deployment, and I kind of did this on accident this time. The first unit I deployed was my general's unit, because I knew that I had trolls, and I wanted my general and BSB to be able to cover the most area possible with trolls. So I deployed them, and they rolled a 6, so I got to choose. So I deployed them right on the line, thinking that on a 1, the trolls are here in this section. On a 3, 4, 5, or 6, I can put them next to the general.
Yeah, made sense.
Yeah, and so as you can see, my trolls rolled a 2. So the only number I couldn't have them roll, they rolled. So my trolls are pretty much out of the game. Also, that rolled a 2, another unit of Night Goblins with a banner and short bows, wolf chariot, 5 wolf riders who have vanguarded this way. They were over here, but I didn't think I needed them there. They have spears and short bows. My mangler squigs. More Night Goblin Wolf Riders with spears and short bows. These ones vanguarded forward. The goal is to kill that eagle and then get around and start killing characters and or sword masters. I think I already said the Mangler Squig, another Wolf Chariot. 30 squigs with 10 handlers, who I'm excited are behind hardcover. 32 goblins with spears and shields and a standard. And the reason they're put this way instead of holding my center is because they're within 8 inches of these characters, so I'm actually going to hop my general and BSB into this unit and then move them more towards the center, since I ended up with stuff here and here, and nothing really in the center. So I'm going to do it that way and try to
hopefully help the trolls out.
Yeah, get a little more mileage out of my leadership bubble.
Okay.
That right now isn't really doing anything.
All right. How do you like the deployment? Do you feel okay
other than
about
the trolls, I actually like my deployment a lot. I love that the squigs were able to hide behind the wall. I like the chariot being mostly behind the wall, but still with a pretty decent charge window. I really thought that this was a pretty clever way to get my general closer to the middle, since 8 inches is actually right at this guy. So when he pops, he'll get an extra 4.5 inches to the front.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to actually get him more than a foot this way, which I think is excellent. Other than that, I don't mind the refused center part. Jody, looking at Jody's stuff, he doesn't have a lot in the center that I'm scared of. The biggest thing I need to do is make sure that my manglers get into contact with stuff that matters.
Exactly. Okay.
I need to get rid of those Illyrian Reavers. I need to get rid of the Eagle. But overall, I'm pretty happy, except, like I said, for the Troll.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, we're going to pull around to Jody and his High Elves. Jody? Tell us about your deployment, how it shaped up, and what you think about it.
I really don't know what I feel about it yet. I actually was fairly fortunate, I think. I had all but 3 of my units go for the middle. So I was able to place my Eagle, my Sea Guard, my 14 Sword Masters, and my Reavers all in the middle. Mm-hmm. My other Reavers and 10 Swordmasters got on the right flank, which I'm not super excited about, but I'm okay with. And then over here, my 5 Swordmasters, trying to see how using them as chaff that hurts a lot works. Kind of just dick me over here, but I mean, you know, maybe I can, they have good move, maybe I can shuffle them over, or just sacrifice 75 points to keep all of them occupied for a few turns.
Gotcha.
We'll see what happens. I don't think I'm necessarily super excited about my deployment, but I don't think it's bad. I mean, I'm okay with it. I'm really just looking to see how it plays out. Trying a lot of new stuff since I'm still a new player, so really it's more of a practice thing for me at this point.
Gotcha.
And I think for spells, I have the Seer Staff, so I chose Curse of Arrow Retraction and Flames of the Phoenix with my general. And then I rolled with my other level 2, and I got Balls on Making, and I rolled another spell that I already had, so then I took Fury of Cain.
Gotcha. Okay. We did forget about the spells on your side, Matt.
Yep,
so
my Goblin War Boss has the Wizarding Hat, so he randomly determined that he had the Lore of Shadows, which is exciting since I used Lore of Shadow with my Dark Elves last night. He generated the Enfeebling Foe and the Withering, and I actually traded Enfeebling Foe for Miasma. My thinking was that generally I'm not super worried about his strength. I'm more worried about his weapon skill and his initiative. So if I can hit that stuff with Miasma, that's going to be a little bit better than otherwise. But I kept Withering because killing elves extra hard is always good. Like if my goblins can wound on 3s or 2s, that's going to really make them way better than elves, even if they die a lot.
Rock on. All right. What we are going to do is actually roll in person to see if Jody can steal the initiative. So, Jody, give us a roll, buddy.
Nope.
And that is a 3, so no. So we will pick up with Matt's Goblins on turn 1. All right, Matt, we are picking up with you with your Orcs and Goblins turn 1. Tell us what happened.
I popped my characters in here. I moved these guys up kind of to defend the wall. Moved this unit all 8 inches up. Moved this over here to stop the Illyrian Reavers from getting to the Mangler. The Trolls failed Stupidity and shuffled 2 inches up. These guys moved into the river, which we found was just normal. This Mangler kind of ran over here. The Chariot moved up and picked a wound off of the Swordmasters, actually, needing a 7 to hit. My Wolf Riders, as you can see, ran this way, tried to kill that eagle, and failed to do anything. Mostly because I rolled a 6 in the magic phase, and Jody rolled the Anulian Crystal. Or Jody has the Anulian Crystal, so he had 6 to my... I'm getting there, sorry. He had 6 to my 5. I channeled for 6, but then he double channeled, so he had 8 dice to my 6. So I threw 6 dice, didn't total power it, so he just dispelled it with glee. I did a wound over there to the Illyrian Reavers as well. And that's pretty much my turn. Animosity didn't dick me this turn, so I'm excited about that. And actually, I'm excited that my Wolf Riders are way back there already, going to threaten that wizard.
Okay.
All
right, so that was the Orcs and Goblins turn 1. We'll pick back up with High Elves. All right, now, General Jody, tell us about the High Elves at the bottom of turn 1.
You know, it could have gone better, but it could have gone a lot worse, so I'll accept.
Okay.
Charges. I charged my Reavers into the Chariot. He fled and redirected into his fast cav. As you can tell, they won combat, which is funny because none of my guys wounded, and all 3 of my horses hit and wounded, and killed one guy because he rolled like a boss for his armor save. In return, he whiffed all of his attacks. So I won by 2, whoop-de-doo.
The sissiest fight in Warhammer history.
I refrained and I forgot to reform, that's my fault. Unless Matt wants to be nice. Charged my eagle into this Chariot, who stood and shot. He completely failed to charge, rolled two 1s and a 2. So he just kind of forward, moved my Swordmasters out. We'll see if that was a good idea later. Moved these guys. I was going to move them farther, but he popped out as Fanatic, so I decided to let him sit hopefully the fanatics will go back that way and hurt him.
Gotcha.
Moved them up, revealed the banner of sorcery.
You also lost one to a dangerous terrain there.
Also lost one to dangerous terrain. Still get 6 regen. Hope you do. Over here, they did not move. They shot at the squig. Cursive arrow retraction. Had like 26 shots. Got 3 wounds through. But
it was enough.
That's all that matters. So they're good there. He dispelled Flames of Phoenix there, and I completely missed Fury of Cain there. I think that was everything.
Okay. So and you also did plink 1 off of the Night Goblins.
I won with my my Reavers just for kicks.
All right. So as you can tell, it's starting to shape up a little bit. So we will turn over to turn 2. All right, Matt. It is the bottom of turn 2. I'm sorry. I am dumb. It is the top of turn 2 with the Goblins, and it looks like they're encroaching in on the High Elves.
Yep. Over here, I could only find 4 of my 5 painted fanatics. So this guy is being a fanatic right now. I failed animosity over here, so I had to charge the Swordmasters. Right. I got a 6, which put me within 8 inches, so I threw fanatics through. This fanatic, which touched them, killed all of them. This one only rolled like 3 inches, and then this one I threw off this way since I'd already killed the Swordmasters, which led me free to move these guys this way. My chariot charged the eagle and only did 1 wound on the impact hits, did no wounds in combat, but the eagle did nothing to me, so I was able to chase it, run it down. Over here, I put a wound on that wizard, which is bueno. I rallied these units here. My trolls failed stupidity. My general's unit actually failed animosity as well. I charged them so I could still do something with them this turn. And they needed an 11 to get in, and they actually rolled a 10, so I think that would have been really epic if I had gotten them all the way in. My squigs didn't move very much. 1 fanatic came through my Night Goblins and killed 2. 1 fanatic came through the Illyrian Reavers and killed all of them. And in shooting, we picked off a guy here, and like I said, the wound over there. He shut down. I was attempting to withering his wizard, and did not get the withering through. He dispelled it, and then I tried to cast miasma on this unit, the big version, and rolled 3 dice and failed to get a 10, or failed to get an 8, which would have made it a 10. So I was kind of frustrated there. Other than that, really, I think the turn went pretty well. I got fanatics spinning crazily and not really threatening anything I care about. And my chariot and my wolf riders and my mangler squig are all in a great position, having dealt with most of Jody's chaff and closing in on his unit, his big bunker unit that I need to kill to win the game.
All right. So it's yeah, like I said, starting to close in on the High Elves a little bit. So we'll switch to Jody on the bottom of turn 2. All right, Jody, it is the bottom of turn 2 for you. Tell us what happened.
All right. Well, charged my Reavers back into that unit there.
Yep.
Needed an 11. Charged my Swordmasters into the archers. He stood and shot, took a guy, right?
And you lost one to
dangerous terrain. And I lost one to dangerous terrain. But I rolled a freaking 12, so they got in. And on 19 attacks, 19 wounds.
And it took them all out, as you see.
Yeah.
They were
just like, we're sick of this. Moved them back a little bit. I'm actually in a really bad position over here with the Fanatics. But, you know, what you going to do? Over here, Fury of Cain, the chariot. Just, I hate chariots. Tried like 26 attacks against them. Or not even, 20 attacks against them, and nothing. Not a single wound.
But you did cast Flames of the Phoenix?
I cast Flames of the Phoenix on them, and it killed one. In hindsight, I should have cast Fury of Cain on them, but, you know, what you going to do? Not really much else happened, I don't think.
Yeah, it was another sissy fight between the Reavers and the Wolf Riders over here, but...
Again, we each got a wound, and I charged, so... My Reavers are like,
But the Wolf Riders ran off the table.
Yes.
Alright, so...
Alright.
At the end of turn 2, how are you feeling, sir?
You know, I'll feel better once that's gone. But I have a feeling that they're just going to destroy my unit next turn. 3d6. Or 2d6. Strength, 5 hits. Not going to be pleasant.
Okay.
So it happens.
All right, it is now going on to turn 3. All right, Goblin General Matt, it is your turn 3. It was a little less chaotic than the previous turns. Go ahead and tell the folks what happened.
Trolls failed stupidity again. Big surprise. I moved up over here. These squigs are in line here. I just didn't have any place to put these guys. The fanatics moved around, as you can see.
Yeah, fleeing off, going off the table.
Yeah. My manglers made it through and killed 5, so now they're going crazy. My wolf riders continue to be able to march, even though they shouldn't, and they plinked a wound off. These guys got out of the river. The fanatics over here, one died from rolling doubles. The other 2 are just spinning around. And in Magic, for the 2nd time in a row, I have been unable to reach an 8 on 3 dice, so I couldn't cast anything else.
And the general and the troll are slowly starting to come
Yep,
together.
they're getting closer. And actually, this is one of the times that I'm really upset that I don't have a musician, so I could swift reform this unit, make them wider to actually get my general closer to the trolls and get the trolls in the game. But I decided not to spend that 10 points, and it's coming back to bite me in the butt.
Okay, at your turn 3, what are you feeling? How are you looking on your
not
tactics?
worried about. What's that?
How are you feeling about your tactics? How are you feeling about the game so far?
Tactically, I think I'm doing all right. I'm glad to get out of the front arc of these guys. I'm glad to get. I'm not worried about the Illyrian Reavers. I think I'm going to beat them in combat with whatever I fight them with. The trolls are useless. They're just saving me 210 points right now. These guys are pretty much useless. They're just going to, come up here and try to shoot. The squigs, I love that they're guarded by this fanatic, and I believe there are out of charge range anyway.
Yeah, it's like...
Or just they need double 6s again. So the squigs are kind of protected as I go after that big bunker unit that has his characters in it. The goal is really to take out that bunker unit and then turn around and face the swordmasters and or run like small children.
Both viable options.
I'll probably try to take out one swordmaster and leave the other one alone. Also, gonna try and get the trolls in range, but I'm not sure how that's gonna work out. So we'll see here in a minute.
Okay.
All right.
All right. We will come back to you at the bottom of turn 3 with the high elves. All right, Jody. It was the bottom of turn 3 with your high elves.
Yep.
Tell us what crazy stuff happened.
Not too much. Charges. I charged my Reavers into his chariot. Nothing really happened there. We both failed to wound, so I won by 2, and he
made his leadership. Okay.
Moved these guys up a little bit, reformed them, swift reformed them to... I really should have moved them as well, but I didn't want to get too close for his freaking squig charge range. Cast a bunch of magic, nothing too substantial, Curse of Air Attraction, heavily pluck a couple of wounds off of there. I got rid of his wizarding hat, so he's got...
With the unmaking.
With the bells unmaking. And that was pretty much all I could do. Really, my only hope is that his squigs don't destroy that unit. And that... I don't know what else. We'll just have to see. I just think I need a lot of luck to go my way. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, and it is switching to turn 4 now with the goblins. All right, General Matt, it is the top of turn 4 for you. Let the folks know what happened.
Well, over here, my fanatics either I ran onto them because I failed animosity, or they ran off the table. These fanatics over here just kind of continued in random directions. And Jody's sphincter released itself when the Mangler Squig did not go through his unit.
Yeah, he took off.
He's going to help me over here versus these Swordmasters. The Trolls, of course, failed stupidity again. Shooting saw me plink 3 wounds off of the Lother and Seaguard, which is pretty ridiculous. They're down to, looks like, 21 plus the Wizards. The Squigs position themselves in such a way as to deny the charge from this unit onto my General's unit. However, if they charge the flank, or the rear, they kill all the handlers, my Squigs get to re-attack, and then my Squigs will explode, which doesn't bother me a whole lot, because it'll kill off whatever remains of this unit. And if I roll a 12 for distance, I'll actually get this unit as well, and that'll be d6 plus 5 strength 5 attacks that explode. And yeah, it's going to hurt this unit, but I don't think I need all of those to help take out the general's unit.
That is legit.
Over here, I'm getting closer. I'm about 13 away, it looks like, maybe a little farther. So I'm closing in on that unit. Going to get the Penta technique on it. So, and over here in close combat, he did no wounds. He saved the wound that I did, but I actually passed my leadership test and then rallied and then made my test to reform. So now my wolves are getting to attack as well. As far as the rest of the tactics, I think I'm doing all right. Those Lather and Seaguard are getting pinned down, and I'm okay making the trade over here. This is the unit that has the Banner of Sorcery, so I'm okay making that trade if Jody wants to make the trade. And my flank is protected by this guy who will do a little bit of damage over here. Plus, they still need, I think, a 7 or an 8 to get in, which is not necessarily guaranteed. And so if they fail and they get if they fail and they roll a 6, they'll actually, well, if they roll a 6, they'll get in. So anyway, that's not the point. The point is they'll take some casualties, and I'll accept that.
Okay.
And then it looks like I am getting close to my goal.
Alrighty, we will come back to you in a moment with turn 4 with Jody. Alright, Jody, it was the bottom of turn 4 for you.
It was.
Things are looking a little clearer in the middle of the board now, so tell us what happened in that bottom of the turn.
Well, I charged my big, massive Swordmaster unit into the rear, the squigs.
Mm-hmm.
They had the Banner of Sorcery, 290 points, 270 for the squigs, so I was going to lose. I did 11 wounds, killed all the handlers. He did, like,
I did 10 wounds
10 wounds back, so my champion was alone, but didn't matter. When he blew up, he killed a Fanatic, 5 guys off of that unit, and his chariot.
Mm-hmm.
So I did get lucky there and came out ahead. Then I swift reformed them, got them away from the 12, moved them back away from the 12. Cast a bunch of magic on that unit. As you can tell, it's a lot less. Cleanse the Phoenix is on them. So, I mean, I'm sure he'll dispel it, but no biggie. Since Chariot's dead, they're free. So it's looking better for me, but it's never over.
Right.
So we'll see what happens at the top of 5.
Okay. We will come back to you in a moment with Matt's turn 5. All right, Jody. It was the bottom of turn 4 for you.
It was.
Things are looking a little clearer in the middle of the board now. So tell us what happened in that bottom of the turn.
Well, I charged my big, massive Swordmaster unit into the rear, the squigs.
Mm-hmm.
They had the Banner of Sorcery, 290 points, 270 for the squigs, so I was going to lose. I did 11 wounds, killed all the handlers. He did, like,
I did 10 wounds
10 wounds back, so my champion was alone, but didn't matter. When he blew up, he killed a Fanatic, 5 guys off of that unit, and his chariot.
Mm-hmm.
So I did get lucky there and came out ahead. Then I swift reformed them, got them away from the 12, moved them back away from the 12. Cast a bunch of magic on that unit. As you can tell, it's a lot less. Cleanse the Phoenix is on them. So, I mean, I'm sure he'll dispel it, but no biggie. Since Chariot's dead, they're free. So it's looking better for me, but it's never over.
Right.
So we'll see what happens at the top of 5.
Okay. We will come back to you in a moment with Matt's turn 5. All right, Matt, it is the top of turn 5 with you. Tell us what happened with some combat going on.
Well, I had some bad luck. The trolls passed their test, which was great. They were able to move 8 or 9 inches, which was double what they've moved all game. I failed charged with the Night Goblins over there, which was fine. They needed a 10, but I failed. I got in with my general's unit. As you can see, they are severely depleted. There's only the standard bearer left. And my Wolf Riders, with their 1 in 36 chance, failed animosity and failed to charge into the flank. Literally anything else but a double 1 would have meant me in the flank and doing a happy dance. Because I lost that combat by 3, the Wolf Riders would have brought in another 1 and most likely 2 wounds, or at least pulled some attacks off, or negated the ranks if no attacks went on them, which would have definitely won me that combat. Oh no, because they have to need they need double ranks. But anyway, I probably would have done at least 1 or 2 ranks and or 1 or 2 points of damage, and that would have been nice. You can see I had some sneaky stablos pop up, and they killing blowed his general. The other one on the other side failed to kill his wizard that has a wound on him, so that was exciting. He killed the rest of my unit, and I stuck around with my general, my BSB, and 1 sneaky stabber. And this is the top of his turn 5, so things are looking pretty grim for me, unless I can win that combat via amazing luck.
All
See what happens.
All right, coming up, All right, Jody, turn 5. It's starting to look better for you. What's going on?
It is, and this really no magic. I moved the Reavers up, which, you know, who cares? This combat, I chased down his unit. My only fear is he can flank me with that into there. I might, if he whiffs some attacks, I might be able to survive. We'll just have to see. I mean, he could double charge me and get a flank and a rear, and a lot of stuff can still happen. So
Get some manglers going.
I'm not going to say I for sure have this.
Yeah. All right. So we will just go to turn 6 with the goblins. See if they can pull off some crazy shit. All right, guys. We went ahead and went through turn 6. It actually turned out pretty well for the goblins after turn 6. So Matt, go ahead and tell us what happened.
I was pretty pessimistic there at the end of turn 5. I needed to pull an 8-inch charge into the flank of his Lothern Sea Guard with these guys, and not fail animosity again with these guys. And I made it, and I rolled really well. Even though these guys were feared, I still killed like 2 or 3 elves with them. The Wolf Riders themselves, out of 4 attacks, killed 3 elves, and the Wolves killed an elf. So I got 6 dead elves, which just barely broke his steadfast. He killed 2 out of this unit, 1 out of this unit. So I had the rear, I had the flank, I had the charge, a rank, a banner, 6 wounds. He was on snakes, and because I had just barely broken that steadfast, so he ran. We ended up here, and then he flank charged me on his turn with the Illyrian Reavers and did a wound, and I didn't do anything back. He armor saved it. Those Illyrian Reavers, those 2 are really good at making armor saves.
Yes, they are.
Yes. And I was steadfast on a 5, and then I made it. I rolled the 4 and the 1. The trolls didn't do anything, of course, and the Mangler Squid kept running around being crazy. Jody, you got any thoughts on turn 6 as a whole?
I mean, what are you going to do? Averages didn't like me. My rolls, even with my rear rolls, I only got a couple wounds through. I should have done at least 4. And then you probably should have done about 4 or 5. I mean, I would have taken 4 wounds. It would have meant that I would have been on an 8 for leadership instead. And that's a lot better than double 1s.
Yeah, I don't know what you rolled when you actually rolled to try and get it.
I rolled 7.
But 8 is a lot easier to get than...
The other thing, actually, that did also hurt me is when I went to flee. I mean, if I could have gotten double 6s, I would have had a better chance too. However, you know, hey, them's the breaks.
Yeah,
looked really good going into turn 6. I really thought I had it. I didn't think there was a way he could take out that unit, but he did. So even at the end here, if I would have been able to destroy them, it would have been a tie. Because I had 255 left on the board, he would have had 370. So we would have been closer to a tie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, what you gonna do? I think I played well. I mean, the biggest mistake really probably was not fleeing with the eagle, but that wasn't huge, I don't feel. I think considering the units, I mean, considering the list I have, I think I played pretty well. And I think I did a good job sacrificing them and got lucky with what he took in return. It just didn't come through for me. The dice did not like me in the end.
Yeah, there was some clutch rolling by Matt in the last turn that was just able to pull.
I made that 10-inch charge or 8-inch charge rather, and then I made those 6 wounds that were pretty key.
Yeah. And you made the leadership at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, for our new little tradition, Matt, go ahead and tell me what you felt was your best unit.
Honest to goodness, it was this unit of Wolf Riders. They vanguarded right on up, tried to shoot, plinked a wound off of a wizard, forced him into the unit, and really they probably did 3 or 4 wounds with shooting over the course of the game, but just having the board control back here with the 18-inch movement, they made all their leadership checks to march on a 6 because they're bosses. I mean, just that ability to help pin in that unit that I knew I needed to kill was key. And really, my Generals unit stood out really well. The Sneaky Stabbers I've been really kind of down on since 8th edition Orcs and Goblin book came out. And really, the 2 turns where I forced Jody to allocate the characters was really ridiculous. You know, that first turn when I had when he was killing Sneaky Stabbers, I mean, they're 10-point models. Plus, I killing blowed his general with it, which always makes me warm in my pants. So I think the Generals unit actually would have won a better commendation if I had been nicer to them. As far as my worst unit, I'd say it's a tie between the Trolls, which is not anybody's fault. I just rolled a 2, which was the only dice roll I couldn't roll for them at the very beginning, and the Squigs, which again was my fault. After that combat resolved, I realized I had 30 Squigs, or excuse me, I had 28 Squigs. He did 11 wounds, which would have left me with 17, which I still would have wiped the Swordmasters with. So I should have turned the Squigs around, facing Squigs towards Swordmasters, just taken that charge, been depleted, and then actually had Squigs left, and had a General's unit left, and been able to try and, squig those Swordmasters, or, squig up here, or something like that. So that was all my fault, really. So probably really the worst unit that I had was the Chariot that failed to kill any of the Illyrian Reavers. And again, not his fault. Jody rolled. Those 2 Illyrian Reavers have super armor, but he's probably going to be my actual worst because that one wasn't in my hands.
Gotcha. Okay, Jody, best unit of the day.
Well, I have to go with the 290-point Swordmaster unit. Although that is a lot of points to throw away, it netted me probably close to 400 in return, which I will make that trade every day. It also allowed my General's unit, my block, to take out his General's unit. I think without losing that extra 6 models he lost from the Squigs, it would have been a lot tougher. I would have been able to, but I think I would have lost more, and he would have had more time to flank in with these units. As far as worst go, these guys, because they didn't get a chance to do anything, there was always either a Fanatic or a Squig in the area, and I didn't want to sacrifice 150 points for the chance to make up a couple of points. I just can't make that sacrifice as high elf sometimes. The other unit that I think, really my General's unit, I mean, they did great, and then at the end they just said, nah. So that, I think...
On the subject of your General's unit, if I can interrupt you, I think probably if I could mention, I think maybe you should have fled the Wolf Rider charge with your General's unit. You would have bumped through the building, and I never would have touched you. So you actually could have saved your General's unit.
Wouldn't you have bumped through if you would have hit the building too?
Nope.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So yes, I should have done that.
So
but
I thought I was trying to tell you that, and I apologize.
No, that's cool. I heard you say it, but I thought that you could still...
No, because if I contact and I'm not fleeing, I bounce off.
That's right.
So, just like other than past.
So that would have also... And I think I probably could have made that. I only would have needed...
You needed a 7
like a 7.
Yeah, you needed a 7 or an 8, which, not 100%, but if you had rolled it, if you had failed, I would have auto-killed you with the wolves. So I understand why you stood, but I thought maybe seeing the pincer charge, well, it was 50-50 because, again, it was an 8-inch charge with those guys.
If we both would have rolled statistical average, I would have been steadfast on an 8, which still would have been...
Still would have been worth it, So maybe not, but I wanted to bring that up to everybody that was watching. That was the thing that...
I think my best unit was his trolls.
Honestly, to tell you the truth, I'm okay because the trolls really kind of stayed out of trouble and saved me 210 points, which was about the margin of victory. I ended up with about 480, or Jody ended up with about 1,100, and I ended up with about 1,300.
Yeah.
So that 210 points actually really, those trolls actually saved me the game.
Yeah, I mean, since they were just standing over there being stupid, he didn't feel like he needed to do anything with them. So yeah. All right, guys. It was a excellent game. It was intense. It came right down to the end, which is always awesome. Unfortunately, the High Elves weren't able to take out the Goblins. They're 2-0, 0-2 against the Goblins, unfortunately.
But they'll keep fighting them.
But this was a much more awesome game. Thank all of you guys for watching. And this has been another production of Bromance WarGaming. If you have any comments, suggestions, critiques, insults, whatever.
I've been playing for, what, 3 months, 4 months? So let me know out there, High Elf players, if there's anything you think you would have done different or better.
We always know that the #1 rule is roll better.
Yeah, and that really, I mean, I should have known things were going to go downhill for me when I double channeled first turn.
There was nowhere to go but down.
Yeah. You know, so, but hey, I love me some squigs because they kill themselves.
They don't care who they kill, they just want to munch on some stuff. All right, guys.
All right.
Y'all, all you take care. This has been the end of campaign turn 6, so we will pick up. Our next video should be turn 7, and it'll show where we move. Take care, guys.